Things that we need to know before we start talking about any basic thing in geometry. That is about line, ray, and line segment. So what is a line? Is this a line? Is this a ray? And is this a line segment? Well, it's not entirely. There is some part of it that we need to use. If I do this, it becomes a line. If I do this, it becomes a ray, and this is a line segment. So what is the difference? The presence and the absence of the arrow. So what does this arrow indicate? Never ending. So a line is one which will never end at both ends. A ray is one which has a start, but it won't end. A line segment has a start and has an end. That's the first difference. Next is naming a line. So say this is AB. We write a line in this manner. Say the ray is, say this is S and this is T. So you name a ray in this manner. And the line segment, say this is S and this is E. You name it in this manner. So this is the basic difference between all these three. The next topic that we need to know is collinear and non-collinear. So for that we need to take up a line or line segment or whatever it is. We'll take up a line itself. So we have, say, point 1, point 2. Point 3 is said to be collinear with point 1 and point 2. While point, say this point NC is said to be non-collinear. Can you guess the difference? Collinear means in the same line. Non-collinear means not in same line. Okay, so that's the difference between collinear and non-collinear. Next, angles. So a small question before we start off talking about angles. What all property can we change about a stick? It's a weird question. We can change its dimension, make it longer, thicker, fatter, that is thinner. We can change the position. We can get it near, get it far. We can, say, get it left, right, make it go up, down. We can do quite a few things. We can also do this. What? We can also rotate it. Okay, turn it. The amount of turning that we do, if you want to measure it, we have to make use of, yes, angles. So the stick was initially in this manner. Then it got about, I don't know how to tell this. Well, we have to make use of angles. If you want to talk about the turning, the amount of turning, it is to do with angles. Okay. So angles is a way of measuring turns. Right. So if you want to talk about distance displacement, we use meters. If you want to talk about turning, we have to make use of angles. Okay. Next thing is we need to know about parts of angles. So an angle has, you can clearly see here, this is an angle. So we need two lines at least. Right? We need two things. So these things, so-called things, are called as arms. Right? Generally, where you start off with, that arm is known as initial arm. So initial arm is where the measurement starts from. You measure the angles from this point. So angles are measured from this arm. Then we have a final arm, which the line ends up with. Okay, This is where the line ended up. After this much of turn, it ended up over there. This is vertex. Okay, this point is vertex. And this is your angle indication. You do this. So this is anti-clockwise measurement. Okay. So vertex is the corner point of an angle. Arms, the two straight sides. So these are the words that we need to know, because it will be easy for a person to communicate to you guys anything about geometry. Next thing and the last thing is how to label an angle. This is very important, because especially for me, because I keep varying how I represent an angle. So we can use lower case letters. We actually can use numbers also. I have not mentioned it, but yes, we can use numbers as well. So I want to name this. I can do this: angle A, angle D, angle G, angle S, angle T, angle U, V. Or we can name it using Greek letters, and one of the most famous Greek letter that is used is theta. Okay, so this is read as theta. We can also use 3 letters on the shape that defines the angle. Okay, let me show this. Say this is A, B, C. So with middle letter being where the angle actually is. That is a vertex. So you can name in this manner. That is, this is angle A, or angle theta, or angle ABC. In some cases we can go with angle B also. Right? So how to make use of it? I have an example. Say I want to name, first is, let me name the line segment AB, MN. I want to name this angle. So we need to name the vertex first. So let me name it T. Then if it's, not too much of, like if you don't have this T thing, okay, if you not name that, say I don't want to name that, I just can call this as theta. And if I want to name this, I can call this as A, I can call this as B. And we are done. Right? So this is different amount of angle, this is different amount of angle, and that's a different amount of angle. So these are the ways of naming things. Okay. Or say I want to name this particular angle and say this is okay, S. So AST angle, this angle is angle AST. Okay, so quite a few ways of naming things. Angle B is equal to, it's same as naming STM. Right? STM. So some people, they end up writing angle T, which is altogether wrong, because at T we have so many arms, right? Please don't name any angle at T as, okay, at vertex T as angle T. Any angle at vertex T as angle T. Okay, because we won't know for sure which angle we are talking about. Is it N, T, M? Is it, angle A? Is it angle theta? Is it angle B? We will not get to know that. So these are few mistakes that I see with kids and everything. So okay, these are things that you guys have to make a note, because generally this is missed off. I've seen that they learn everything else, the basics. If this is missed, maybe it's asked in exam, right? Small words you will not know and you won't get the answer itself. So it should not happen. There's few words that we need to know, not too many. Just keep it in mind. You guys know all of this already. Just need to revise often. Okay, so pause and copy it off.